let's start from the very beginning out here. A very, very warm welcome to all the teachers out there who are joining from different parts of the country, different schools, and bringing lots of experience and their self, what you say, you have insights really great. You have been teaching out there, and it's really, really my pleasure that I am going to just share my insights on what CBSE Term 2 could be. So let me introduce myself. My name is Bhavna, and I am a PGT physics, but I have been practicing my teaching skills for past more than 10 years now. And it has been mostly from grade 9th and 10th. And what I believe is teaching without learning is going to be not very useful. So that's what I call myself. I'm not just a teacher. I'm a teacher with upskilling and a learner going forth, so I can just increase my paradigm to teach further and learn further. So that's about me and today's agenda. Let's get into that, what we are going to do, people. So everyone, today we are going to focus ourselves, like the session flow is such thing that we are going to discuss what is the reduced and updated syllabus released for different terms by CBSE. Now, obviously, because of the in lieu of the COVID situation, we have seen that things have not been as smooth as before. Everything has been too dynamic. CBSE first, last year it was decided that no exams will be there, and the students were promoted based on their periodic and their internal assessment. This year, CBSE has taken a turn that no, in lieu of in lieu of even COVID scenario, there will be an exam held, and that's why they have divided their two terms. So as we earlier used to call as half yearlies and finals, now it is actually how the boards are going to. So this is the future which we are looking at right now. Term 1 and term 2. We all have faced, all our students have faced term 1 already in the month of November, December. And as we all know, it was the MCQ paper, right? Now we are leading ourselves to term 2 and how term 2 is going to be. CBSE has already given a sample paper out, so we already have a bit of an idea. Just to have a clear-cut idea, everyone, just give me a thumbs up if everybody is comfortable with English. If you're more comfortable with English, I'll just communicate in English more. I am comfortable in both the languages. So everybody is comfortable in English, I guess. Super cool. So as we were going, we will be discussing the syllabus. If anybody wants me to discuss in English, I'm more than open for that as well. Okay. So talking about this, we will be talking about the course structure. Then there is one confusion that every teacher out there might be having about the internal assessment. If that is still a point of confusion, after today's webinar, we are going to finish that confusion completely because we are going to discuss internal assessment bifurcation elaborately. So we will just figure out each and every step how we have to go as we analyze or assess our students. Then we will be talking about the sample paper that is released by CBSE and how Goyal Brothers Prakashan can help us with the same sample paper as there are model test paper released now and whether they will be helpful or not. So we are going to do a bit of a discussion over that. The last 2 points are my critical analysis over the paper. So we will bring that at the end. So it is like a surprise factor. So actually I have gone through the sample paper. I have dissected it properly. So I actually have got out a lot of insight that how many questions, what kind of questions we have to make our children present. So that is what we will be doing. And at the end, obviously, we will be open for your question and answers. If there's anything we can have a discussion on, it will be a wonderful time because it will be really, really helpful and really happy on my side that I will be sharing insights with so many teachers with so much of experience. So this is the flow of the session. That's how we are going to start. So without wasting any time, because we don't have much of the time, let's start with a discussion on what is or where to find the bifurcated syllabus. Now, first of all, see, always going to the right path, we should know which is not the right path. So the wrong path, I'm telling you first. This was one of the problems that students have faced when CBSE have released the syllabus. So CBSE have released the syllabus twice. They have rationalized the syllabus and they have made the changes, and the website had been changed twice. That means there were two kinds of notification that came. So do not go on this comment that we always go CBSE nick type karte hain and we just go to that. This is not the place to be. If you are here, you will see a platform where you will have languages, main subject, other academic electives, and subject internal. This is not the site we have to look. Here they will give you the three kinds of tables, ki science, math, you can pick it. This is not where we have to check. The actual site where you have to go is the CBSE site, where they have released term-wise syllabus for examination 2021 and 22. So I have seen even my students coming to me and they were very confused, ma'am, which part is there, which part is not there. Even now I get many messages from my student ki ma'am, we are still confused, this part is coming or not. To cite an example, if there are any physics teachers out there, so physics may the chapter that we talk about magnetic effects of electric current, that has been reduced to like there are two topics which are being cut, but the students always have a confusion that till what point the syllabus is there. So we have to be very clear for the syllabus. Until we are not clear with this, we cannot go forward or guide our students perfectly. So this is where we have to look for. The site is given above, and it is what this the symbol that we are on the right place. Term-wise syllabus for examination 2021 and 22. Here it is given term-wise. We will click on 10th, 9th and 10th, and then we can choose our main subjects. There also there is three tables, that term-wise mathematics, term-wise science, and term-wise social science. Languages comes differently, and there are electives which comes in different column out there. So talking about this is exactly not what we have to see. This is what previously we used to follow up the course structure. That was one annual exam for 80 marks with 20 marks for internal assessment.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows three-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
Now, which is the course structure which is correct? The correct tick mark is when we have divided the class 10 syllabus into two terms. Term 1, we all have already faced, which has already been divided unit as well as chapter wise. Plus the marking scheme is also given, that how the marks are divided among different units. Talking about term 1, which is already over now. So we know that we are already done with term 1. Now in term 1, physics was 2 chapters, chemistry was 3, and talking about biology, it was 1 chapter, only 1 chapter. So bio was very light in term 1, and it was all gone as MCQs. This is gone, we have seen. And if you guys have seen, if you everybody out there, teachers, if you have seen the MCQ pattern, what I will say that it was a bit of a surprise. Students were assuming that MCQ paper would be very easy, it is convenient, just we have to take, everything will be very handy. But CBSE proved it ki no, MCQ paper is not going to be that easy. They are going to maintain a level, and that's what we have to understand, that CBSE doesn't mean easy paper. It means now you have to maintain a level, and that's what they proved with the MCQ paper. Now, if we are preparing for term 2, we already have seen 1. We will be preparing accordingly. Now, there are many doubts out there whether term 2 will even happen or not. Because in the present scenario, COVID cases increasing, decreasing every day, we see the percentage, either it is going up or 1 or 2% down. But as per the scientist, we are going to have the peak in another week. The schools are yet closed. So whether the term 2 is even going to happen or not, and that is a very big uncertainty among the students as well. Now, to answer that question, there is two signals that CBSE have given us. One is the sample paper release. Obviously, if they are releasing a sample paper, they are very adamant that they are going to get the exams done. It may be delayed. It may be that they will not have it at a particular center. It can be like what was planned for term 1. So ideally, before term 1, CBSE have released a circular where they have mentioned exactly 4-pointer system, where each and every condition have been analyzed. For example, if only term 1 happen, what will be the scoring? If term 2 cannot happen, term 1 weightage will increase. Their PTs are very important in that case. So they have made it very clear, term 2, if not going to happen, what will be the scenario, and hence they are not yet releasing term 1 result, which is supposed to be coming out. That is in the news, in the notification, but yet it is not out because the weightage of term 1 is going to be affected if term 2 is going to be not happen, or happen in the school as well. So that is what, these are the two signals that we can take the uncertainty side and start preparing for the battle that is in front of us, because it is a well prepared soldier can win the war. If we are not prepared and the war comes, we will be actually without any sake that why we didn't prepare. But being prepared is always a positive thing. So we have to give a positive attitude to the students as well, that it is very, very important. They remove the uncertainty ki term 2 nahi hoga. You will be promoted in that way. Term 2 is definitely going to happen. In the extreme condition, if it doesn't happen, then also CBSE has a backup. And actually for me, if I say my personal say, it is good to have term 2, because I have seen students who have been not been able to do very great in term 1. They have a chance. They should not miss on this chance. They should be preparing very well. So talking about term 2, what is the scenario we have? CBSE has already released a subjective paper. Subjective paper, now this is something, a challenge for the students as well, because students are out of the habit of writing answer. They are out from the habit that they have got into. They have been trained for MCQs for term 1, and now they have to get back to how they used to answer. So they have to be very well informed, very well guided how to go about it. Now talking about term 2, this time it is a total change. Earlier, chemistry was heavy in term 1. In term 2, chemistry are only 2 chapters. That is also very much rationalized. So carbon compounds, most of the chapter part is not there. Talking about periodic table and its classification, most of the part is also being reduced. Talking about world of living, chapter 8 and 9, this is for biology. This includes reproduction and heredity and evolution. And there is one more chapter from the topic of EVS. So actually natural resources comes from EVS, that is chapter 15 on environment. So these are the 3 chapters. So earlier chemistry was heavy. This time biology has taken more part. Now this is actually a good news, but I'll tell you that how this good news is going to help students. So this time paper cannot be assumed that it will be rotting knowledge or we can just learn and write. No, CBSE has made it very clear, rotting knowledge is not what they are looking for now. And that is actually a positive turn, because education should be in a way that we can apply it, and they are taking the steps towards it. Talking about effects of current, that is physics, have 2 chapters with electricity and magnetic effect of electric current. Out of magnetic effect of electric current, as I already given an example, there are 2 topics which are reduced, that is electric generator and domestic circuit. Now students have a very big confusion, which was there also last year, that whether electromagnetic induction and Fleming's right hand rule is there or not. Both of these topics are there. So it is very, very important that we look into the syllabus very accurately so that we can guide our students best. Now here we have seen the 2 bifurcation of term 1 and term 2. Term 1 was of 40 marks MCQs, and so is term 2, that is also a 40 marks MCQ, but this is theory. So this is 80 marks. The remaining 20 marks has also been bifurcated among the two of the paper. So as we talk about this, the two of it has been divided. I'll just go to the next sheet. Okay, let me just remove all the annotation out there. Okay, so talking about this part, when we talk about this for class 10th, the two terms, as we have talked already, have been divided into term 1, term 2. Each of them were supposed to be of 50-50 marks each, with 40 marks of theory paper and 10 marks of internal assessment, adding up to 80 marks of theory and 20 marks of internal assessment, giving us a total of 100. This is what is the initial and the plan of CBSE which was given out. Now, talking about internal assessment, how many of you actually face problem with how to assess the student? Because there is lots of things that CBSE has given as the norms. There are lots of things that we are talking about, like how to score, whether it will be the PTs or whether it will be how many PTs will be there, or whether we have to check the students' notebooks, their attendance, their interaction. So CBSE have made a very clear circular about all of these. So talking about all of this, we are going to go forward. Again, I'm just clearing all the drawings over there. Let's check this out, how this is going to help us. So talking about internal assessment, the 20 marks, which is already been divided among 10 and 10, as we know it. So term 1, 10 is gone. Many of the teachers have seen, they have gone through practical work. They have made sure that the students are maintaining their notebook, their attendance is on the right track, and they were motivating throughout. They were giving feedbacks, PTs were conducted, lots of things were done. Now, if we go according to CBSE, they have made it very clear for term 1 and term 2, each of these 10 marks will be divided among 4 different categories. These 4 different categories are divided as periodic assessment, as we call it different places, periodic test, class test, as we talk about the test that we take throughout the year, right? The second one is called multiple assessment. Now, this was a point of confusion which I've seen, that what do you count in multiple assessment? What comes here? So ideally it is of 2 marks for 10 marks. So each term has 10 marks, 2 marks for multiple assessment is assigned. The third is subject enrichment, which goes for the practical work or the practicals that are assigned in the syllabus as well. That goes for 3 marks. And the last is portfolio. That is again for 2 marks. Now, what is this? What comes under what and what we have to assess on? That is what we are going to go forward with. So talking about this, the internal assessment, starting with periodic assessment, it is of 3 marks. Ideally, when initially there was 20 marks of internal assessment, over the year, the periodic assessment used to be of 5 marks. But this time, this is actually of 6 marks, 3 marks in your term 1 and 3 marks in your term 2. So how we are going to go about it? Now, CBSE have made it very clear in their circular that there should be a total of 3 subjective papers in a year. Now, they have not made it very adamant that that has to be subjective, but 3 papers, 3 periodic tests has to be there, out of which best 2 would be taken for the final submission. So they are giving a gray area even for the students, that if anyhow one paper doesn't go well for any XYZ reason, the student should not suffer. So they are taking student-centric approach here. This 10 marks is ideally, we give student a full opportunity to gain this 10 marks or the max. So talking about, there are at least 3 PTs were assigned, out of which best of 2 will be scored. The main purpose of periodic assessment is exactly the base, as we have already known. It is meant for making students' learning progressive. It is not just the final term for what the student has to prepare. It is how the student is growing over time. So what it is meant, the periodic test is always meant to be following the same pattern. So for term 1, the periodic test was meant to be of MCQ type. For term 2, it is meant to be subjective for the students to get into practice of how to write answers. So that is what CBSE has made clear, that they should be following. Students should be given the exam. The teachers, the guidance, the mentors, the schools should be following a pattern of the exam which is the final exam for that term. So following these, students are even given feedback in between so that they know how to properly write. So all of this, as we have been following for years, that periodic test assessment is a very important part of learning, so that student doesn't have to just study the last moment. The student is growing and learning throughout the year. So periodic test involves 3 marks. Now, talking about these 3 marks, the distribution of periodic test was not given by the CBSE. It was a discretion of the school teachers, and it was the discretion of the school how they want to go about it. So you can divide that. You may have 2 PTs in your term 1 and 1 PT in your term 2, or it could be other way around. But it was completely the discretion of the school, and it is practiced as well. So obviously we are on the verge of the end, like it is already end of January and February is there. And then March, May, we are expecting the exam. So if the PTs are yet not done, it is the perfect time for the students to practice their learning and to start writing the answers. That is the best time to have the PTs as well.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
The next kind of assessment is the multiple assessment, which is the most confusing one, that what to assess in this. Now, multiple assessment strategizes relevant to particular learning outcome. So we have been through lots of learning outcome via different means. When we teach a student, we go in the class with a learning outcome, that this should be the learning outcome of a student. So when we focus on a particular learning outcome, that is where multiple assessment comes. We can determine the frequency of this. So it depends entirely on the teacher, that whether we want to go with quizzes, we want to go with viva, oral test, concept map, we can give them a project work, we can have a discussion, a GD round, we can be talking in any terms. This is completely in the hand of the teachers over the year, depending on 1, 2, 3, 4 or 10 activities of your choice. You want to assess your children on whether their learning is in the particular direction according to the learning outcome. That is what multiple assessment involved. This is the very base of multiple assessment. The different project works, the viva test, the observation skill, the visual skill, the experiments, the classroom demonstration, interaction, every and anything comes under this. It is the teacher's bifurcation, that where they want to pick, and this could be very easily scored. This should not be a cumbersome task. So this is left to the teachers. So it is not fixed to a teacher, it is not fixed to a school, it is not fixed to an institution. It is the discretion of the individual. So the purpose is simple, that if there is any task that a student is not able to perform perfectly or as expected, they should be given feedback for improvement. That is the only purpose. So this is a holistic approach of CBSE, that it should not be only acads and rotting and getting the knowledge. It is about practicing skills. So this is all about multiple assessment, which is of 2 marks for term 2. Talking about the next, that is subject enrichment, is the practical work. And again, term 1 May, the practical work was chemistry heavy. There were practical for bio, but very less. There were practical of physics, but as compared to term 2, the practical number of chemistry were on the heavy side. For term 2, they have made it mostly for physics and biology. So there is not too much heavy because the syllabus have been heavy for biology. This is what is the syllabus for your term 2, experimental, observational, and practicing the subject enrichment. So the specified activities, that is the practical work, has to be conducted plus reported. So both of this, your practical files that the students make, their viva, their performance, their inquisitive questions, answering, finding the graph between V and E, V and I. So these were the things in the practical work which was supposed to be done. Now students have to be encouraged for raising questions, generating hypotheses, experimentation, innovation. That is the purpose behind subject enrichment or the practical work, which is of 3 marks for this class, this term. Talking about the next one and the last, which is portfolio, which is again of 2 marks. What is it supposed to be? So CBSE have made this also a bit of an easy work. Portfolio is actually dependent on a student involvement, their interaction, their way of grasping knowledge. So we know they have a variety of students, but as CBSE says, inclusion is most important. You cannot tag students on their learning speed or their way, but we can always check points that if they are growing together. So assignments, homework, maintaining a notebook, making projects, and just managing how they are doing it, how creative they are, how organized they are, how complete they do their work, and every such thing is under the portfolio stuff. So this is actually our thing, that how we assess a student, that how well they are involved in the class, how well they answer. This is entirely a student and teacher understanding how they are performing. Plus, CBSE has given an extra tick that if there is something that is missing, because we all know this year also we have partly been online, partly been offline. So life will have been difficult with assessing or getting connected to the students. So they have made it a bit easier that if you want to check a student on organizational skill, on how they do their work completely, or how they are growing, they are getting better at stuff, learning stuff, then this is, they have given in a way that in term 2, they can pick a project from the unit 5, any topic, and when they submit it, we can check them or assess them on this. So this is one way that if we are not able to connect or know every student how they are performing, there might be a student who's silent but who's totally involved. There might be a student who is talking but he's not getting the concept. So this is one of the way to the point. So talking about the whole 10 marks, if I just go back some slides, there were these 4 pointers for internal assessment. Periodic assessment, best 2 out of 3 marks for term 2. Multiple assessment, checking the multiple areas of oral tests, quizzes, involvement, GDs, whatever we conduct in the class to assess our students' performance and their growth, that goes as multiple assessment. If ask me, portfolio and multiple assessment are actually correlated. So these 4 marks are dependent on us how we assess our student. Talking about subject enrichment, it again goes to the practical work, which stands for 3 marks for them. So this is all about the internal assessment. Any questions regarding the internal assessment? I'm open to answer right now. If there's anything, I'll just open the chat and I will be listening. Is there evolution? Yes, heredity and evolution में both parts hai, ma'am. The best part is I love to see, because when we talk about syllabus, we need to be very, very clear what is there and what is not there. So talking about heredity and evolution, mostly heredity part is there, evolution is being reduced. So I have this book right now in my hand, which I am helping because the syllabus is directly written here. What I have given as the point ki where it is not there or there, पूरा syllabus मेरे सामने है for term 2. I can check which part is there and which part is not. Right, ma'am? Okay. Any question regarding the internal assessment? Yes, evolution is not there, Rajita ma'am. And sir, I'm so sorry. I'm very bad with recognizing that. Okay. I am reading all the answers. Any questions? Yes, please tell me what is the doubt out there. If there is any doubt that I can answer right now, it will be really good. Chapter 4, functional groups of naming are there. Ma'am, yes, when we talk about the chapter 4, carbon and its compounds, we are talking about CBSE, most of it has been deleted. It is still homologous series that you have that chapter. So right now I have the syllabus right now in front of me as a copy. So till homologous series, it is there for chapter 4, which is carbon and its compounds. Right, ma'am? Okay, super. Anything else I can answer about internal assessment for the while? If there is any doubt regarding how to go, isomerism being included, ma'am, I'll just tell you that as well, because I'm keeping the syllabus just for any kind of such information. No, ma'am, isomerism is also not a part. It is not included. It is not included, ma'am. Okay. So these, ma'am, no, there is no reduction in the chapter of electricity. Satish sir, electricity is complete. It is completely going to be there. The only reduction is in the magnetic effects of electric current, and that to last 2 topics. Most welcome, Kunika ma'am. Natural resources is there? No, sir. Natural resources may only one chapter is there. That is what we call as EVS topic of biology, which is our environment. There are questions. Misha ma'am, this is something that I also got to know, that there are confusions in how the sample paper is set and what is the reduction. But if you go through the sample paper accurately, they will not touch, they might touch the topic just before that. Like I'll give you an example again, because I am more related to physics. The example would be, students are very confused that Fleming's right hand rule is there or not, because that is the introduction to the generator, but that is there. So that topic which is just before is there. Do not think that that is also deleted. Ma'am, internal marks, CBSE, whenever it announces, it will be after that, not yet. And CBSE has actually given that notion that for your internal assessment, subject enrichment part, for term 2, they may send an external. That is not yet clear until CBSE gives up a new notification. Yes, ma'am, naming is definitely there. Environment chapter is there, sir. Our environment is not deleted. It is there. It is 5 marks rather. It is very, very important. No, our environment is there, Nandana ma'am. As for the sample papers, yes, ma'am. I'm coming to that only, Shikha ma'am. I'm coming to that only. Posted by CBSE. That's what I'm telling you, Radhika ma'am. There is point that where we have given for chemistry only, that is one of the confusion that I have heard from many chemistry teachers, that the CBSE which they are selling as per the syllabus and as per the sample paper, they are going a bit off. But ideally, that is only the problem with chemistry. Is this the same problem that was there in term 1 as well? Even in term 1, the same thing was happening. So what I am doing for my students, I am giving them a notion of anything and everything that is there, though I'm not going deep in that. I understand, ma'am. I understand. I totally understand, Radhika ma'am. I totally understand, Nitika ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Chemical reactions, ideally, it is not a part of that. Covalent bonding. So according to the syllabus, they have reduced it to less than. So if I come to this point, if you just give me a moment, teachers, give me a moment. Everybody. So we were talking about internal assessment. I just wanted to clear the things about internal assessment before, because this is the marks which are in our hand.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
Now talking about the sample paper which is given by the CBSE, which have actually made everything go haywire, because chemistry is one place there, the syllabus, and the sample paper doesn't go hand in hand. And I'm totally agreeing with you, because I already had discussion with lots of chemistry teachers out there. Some teachers are in sync, some teachers are saying no, this topic is not there, why CBSE is giving such questions. So telling you, that is what we have to be prepared for. CBSE, the sample paper is the base for us to prepare our students. The base means we have to be preparing our students on this regard. I'm telling you this already. When I talk about the sample paper, these are just some screenshots of it where different questions have been picked. And yes, isomerism is also included in the paper, though it is not a part of the syllabus. Totally agreed with that. Now, talking about our sample paper, I'll just point one point out there. If you people have just went through the sample paper which is given at this website, they have also given the marking scheme. Now, I'm not pinpointing that CBSE is making mistakes, but CBSE has been doing this for quite some time, maybe because in a hurry and furry of this. When I talk, so this is one of the questions that has been talking about. The second thing I'm talking, marking scheme only helps us to know how or where the marks will be given. So students have to be guided that which steps are important and which steps need not to be missed. One thing I want to point out here, which is actually that while looking at the paper and while looking at it marking scheme, we should not blindfold ourselves. We should be open to it, that because there are some little mistakes which are crucial. So many of my students came up with this issue, and I actually there was a question number 12, if I have mentioned here. Okay, the question number 12 is not here, but I'll show you. The question number 12, if I can show you right away, I have made one of the slide on question number 12. So question number 12 of physics looks like this. This is the circuit which is given to us. Now, any of the physics teacher out can give that 5, 10 and R1 are in parallel. But what is the mistake done by CBSE out there? In the marking scheme, they have done it in parallel combination but written as series. So there are mistakes over it, but what I take as an indication, sample paper introduce करने का मतलब ही था कि this is what is it. You cannot miss on those topics which are included there. So if you think that isomerism, which is actually not there in the syllabus, according to CBSE, they have not been included, but they are giving question, we have to be taking care of it. That's why this is an important discussion we are having today. So this is one of the query. I'm just pointing it out because we have to be very careful what to teach our students, because students, when referring to the sample paper, we need to make them sure that marking scheme mein you have to make some bit of the corrections. This is where we stand. Now, before going to the sample paper, I can see there are still chats coming in. Anything that I can tell? Okay. Please clarify by it. Ma'am, abhi bilkul bata rahi hu. I'm telling you, Shikha ma'am, I'm coming to that only. Will there be questions from deleted portion? Sindhu, sir or ma'am, I am very, very like with you this point. Chemistry is the only gray area where they have not cleared it well. Isomerism is not a part of the syllabus, but questions are given. So we have to be prepared for the battle where it could come. So it is something. No, ma'am, chapter 16 is not coming. Alpana, ma'am, chapter 16 is not a part. Only chapter 15. Natural resources is given to be a part in the portfolio for a project work. So you can pick it for a project work if you want for the students. That is what is they are given a choice for. Fine. I've got a question. It's for internal assessment. Ma'am, internal assessment may natural resource may say any topic the student can pick and make a project. And you have to assess the child and portfolio dependent on how the project is submitted. It is dependent. It is given for term 2 as a project work for portfolio. So that is for 2 marks. No, ma'am. This is actually their project work. They have to pick a topic. So you can guide them what is the chapter about, and the students have to pick a topic and make a project over there. Right? Okay, let's go forward. So thodi der ke liye, please hold on your doubts if you have any. Let's go forward and let's go to the sample paper critical analysis. Now, as I already told, when I talk about sample paper, this time biology has given the most of the chapters and the most of the weightage. So talking about the sample paper which looks like this with the marking scheme as we have talked about already. This is the marking scheme. This is the sample paper, the inside of it. So what is it? The instructions are very clear that there are 3 sections, section A, section B, and section C. For section A, there are 7 questions of 2 marks each. but they have given internal choices for 3 questions. So they have given internal choices for 3 questions. So that is a good point for the students' point of view. They still have a gray area that if they don't know one of the concept, they can go with other. But do not think there will be internal choices with subject. Interrelated for subjects, no. It is for the same subject. So you need to be knowing one or the other topic anyhow. Section B is of 3 marks and the number of questions that go there is 6. Again, there are internal choices of 2 questions given out there. For section C, 4 marks, and these are case-based questions. So this is something that we were teaching our students for term 1 as well, and it is coming in term 2 as well, but not in the MCQ manner. This is going to be subjective only, and there will be 3 questions. One question of 1 mark, second question of 1 mark, and the last question is of 2 marks with an internal choice with the 2-marker question. So this is how the sample paper is designed, right? So 2-marker question, 3-marker question, 4-marker question, each of them with having some choices, right? So talking about chemistry, this time has been the least for the marks, 10 marks with 2 chapters with a lot of reduced syllabus, but confusion with the topic they are showing in the syllabus and the sample paper. Totally on that. Same track we guys are. Second thing, there is only one choice for chemistry. So chemistry mein bacha galti nahi kare. That is one thing we need. We cannot give them more of options. For physics, it holds for 12 marks. There are 3 choices, which is a great deal for students. Now, what is this 12 marks holding for? The best thing to tell you, these 12 marks hold numerical. So there are choices for numerical. These 12 marks hold case-based question. There is a choice for case-based as well. So physics mein every type of question is coming: theory, conceptual, numerical, and application. That is case based. For biology, which is the most of marks for term 2, 18 marks, that is the most crucial point. And that's why there are 3 important chapters, 13 plus 5, as I call out. Reproduction and heredity together is of 13 marks. We can divide it among those, and 5 marks for our environment, which is a good one. Because here the student can earn marks easily. Our environment is one of the one of the topic where the student can read and they can relate to them. It is one of the most general chapter I can talk about. So yes, it is there, and there are 3 choices in the biology as well. Any doubt in this part? Any teacher? Any doubt? No, it's not necessary to have an art integrated project. Project work is entirely dependent on the student and the teacher, how they want to go about it. So project work, they have just given a topic, a set of the chapter that they can pick and make a project. If they have not done portfolio, portfolio can be done on 2 things, either project work or their throughout the year involvement. That again depends on the teacher. As I told, the multiple assessment and portfolio has in the hand of the teachers, how they want to assess their students, right? Ma'am, the mark distribution for biology, there are 3 chapters. When we talk about these 3 chapters, they stand for reproduction, heredity and evolution, and our environment. Our environment holds 5 marks. So out of these 18 crucial marks, 5 marks goes to the most general and relatable topic. 13 marks is divided among reproduction and heredity. And as I've seen in the sample paper, heredity questions are application based. So they go with more marks as per the reproduction. So 7 and 6 as per division, right? Yes, ma'am. So chapter wise division, I'll just pen this down if you don't mind me. Chemistry, as I've told you, there are 2 chapters. I'll just show you those 2 chapters again. Where are those? I've just given it. Yes. So chemistry goes with carbon anion compounds. It is going to be carbon anion compounds, carbon and its compounds are for 4 marks now. And the second chapter, which is periodic classification, that is periodic table. If I talk about it, it is for 5 marks. That is, 6 marks. That is for 6 marks. So total of 10 marks come here from the chemistry. Talking about physics, it is a bifurcation between electricity, from which numericals have been seen of 3 and 3 marks, total of 6 marks. And magnetic effect of electric current is going to be again of 6 marks, from which 1 case-based question is there and 1 question of 2 marks from electric motor is there. Biology is going to be divided among 13 plus 5. So 13, as I talk about unit, the unit where reproduction and heredity and evolution, chapter 8 and 9 come, they are total of 13 marks, out of which your heredity is of 7 and your reproduction is of 6, and talking about your environment is it of 5 marks. Everybody is okay? Everybody is fine? In physics, are any question with the combination of series and parallel circuit can come? Yes, definitely that will come, Satish sir. Definitely that is come. That is, I should not be saying that openly, but 100% है कि combination of resistance के numerical आएगा ही आएगा, because the sample paper have made it very, very clear. They have given an internal choice, but this type of question will definitely come for 3 marker. Right, sir? Yes. YouTube link. Jitin sir, are you there? Let me just ask if Jitin sir join in. He will be able to provide you with the link, right? No worries, sir. Ma'am, is the topic of AC and DC is included? No, ma'am. Rajpriya, ma'am, it is not. AC and DC is not being included because we teach AC and DC under the topic of generator. After generator, AC, DC come, and then we talk about domestic circuit, which is not included. This is not going to come. Right. Chapter wise, Ramaya ma'am, I hope I helped you there. Now it is fine, Alpana ma'am. Everybody good? Good with this? Now, if there's anything I'm missing onto this, please help me out. Exactly, Sherry ma'am. Thank you very much for sharing this knowledge. So ideally, Sherry ma'am is sharing something which is very great for us. Why we see what do you say? A thing that is changed in sample paper and the thing, because isomerism is given in the textbook within the non-deleted portion. So we have to be very, very careful with this. Syllabus matters a lot. Ma'am, chapter 9, I don't have the book right now. I'm so sorry, Amdullah, ma'am and sir, I'm so sorry. If possible, I'll provide it. I'll make it possible that Goyal brothers can provide you with that. Right, ma'am? No worries with that. I'll try to get into touch with you. Okay, so sorry. Thank you.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tutor and avail your courses at affordable prices.
Okay, so there is one thing I just want to say here that is very, very important. CBSE always give lots of notification, and obviously it's a task for going through everything and making everything confusion free. So they give everything out, but they give in lots of notifications. So we have to scratch down to important information for us. So this is the critical analysis from the sample paper, which we have figured out. They have given the sample paper. Now they have left it for us. Now talking about this table is actually very important that I want to share with everyone. That's why I have it here. This table is also given by CBSE that what type of question we are expecting in the exam. So talking about demonstrating knowledge and understanding, that is conceptual theory questions where we make the students do a bit of, okay, you know this topic, this is how you come. Or let's say derivation, something that we can do practice of. That is 46% of the paper. But the important 54%, that is more than half, is application of knowledge. It is the evaluation. It is creating that whether a student is able to put the learned into real life scenarios, into practicality. That is what the sample paper has given us. And this is actually very important, people. Very, very, very important for us that we figure that out. So if I ask, if you being a teacher, if being asked me that how we should be preparing our students, then demonstrating knowledge and understanding, if it is of 46% of the marks, Then we have to make sure that our students are very good with their theory and their concepts. So derivation practice, yes, important in physics. When I say that if the derivation of power can the derivation of heating effect, Joule's heating law, they can ask. Can they ask us whether this thing? So there is a chance of this. So the knowledge which is acquired, how much they are able to give that thing, that is what we talk about the demonstration pass, and 46% is there. So if a student has to pass also, the CBSE also always make a paper that it should be for everyone. It should not be for a very weak student. It should not be a very like smart people, not to the toppers. It should be for average. So they always give scope for everyone to score the marks that is least minimum. More than that, talking about this part, this is something I really like, the application and the knowledge of the concept. In this, case-based question is one of the best example they have started. Not rotting knowledge, applying it. Case studies, numericals are always important, and they are still important in physics, right? Recognition, determination of processes. Now, this is something that I have checked in the sample paper. Bio, though it is 18 marks, it doesn't mean you can get that 18 marks just by learning. Biology doesn't mean learning anymore. Biology means application. Whether you can check how which trait is going to go forward. Whether if two of the when you talk about heredity, how it is going to affect. कौन से plant, कौन सी चीज, it is not just learning. But yeah, 46% में थोड़ा सा learning part आता है. So ऐसा नहीं है, we do not have to motivate our students without knowing the concept. Formulas numerical के लिए चाहिए ही ना. So that is the very base of it. That is the very base of it, that some things you need to know. But can you apply the learned knowledge? That is what is the sample paper is telling us. The analyzing, evaluation, and creating. This is 32%. And if you have checked the sample paper, you will totally agree with me. Case-based question are meant to be 2. But every question, no question of chemistry I've seen that is not asking you to apply knowledge. If you are say that I know the periodic table, they are not asking you tell me this number on this. They are giving you situation that whether you can act on that or not. So that is what the student has to be prepared for, right? So if I talk about physics को कैसे deal करना है, numericals are for 6 marks. 6 marks are for magnetic effect of electric current, which is how you are able to apply the learned concept into the given situation. So magnetic effect of electric current, 4 marks of case-based question and 2 marks of theory conceptual question. So they have done both learning, how much you have known, and how much you can apply from magnetic effect. From electricity, they have given numerical, and hence I put a very important thing कि numerical के लिए क्या करना है. If the concept is not clear, no use. So रट्टाबाजी से बच्चों को बचाना है and उनको concept clear करना है, basic clear करना है कि अगर कुछ भी आ जाए, go to the basics. Your formula can help you always. Not creating, neat paper has to be done. We are out of the habit of writing answers. We have to get back how to write answer. Even if a numerical is there, how to go about it. Copying incorrect data, no, a big no. Make sure that we are cross-checking everything and extra careful with SI unit. So these basic tips that every teacher will inculcate in their students will help them to ace in physics. Talking about chemistry, again, rotting knowledge is not a no. It is some points we need to know, the properties we need to know. We have to make the mind map in our brain. We know hydrocarbons, kaun sa alkane hai, kaun sa alkene hai. But that is not going to come directly. I have to apply that knowledge, and that is what we have to teach our students as well. Talking about biology, again, if you have checked the paper, I really like that they are not asking you, okay, tell me what happens in pea plant. Tell me what happens in human reproduction. They are not asking direct questions. They are asking what will happen if this happens. What will happen if that is there? There is a question from food chain, and that is also like they're not going to ask you direct, but application based question, and that is what 54% of our whole paper includes. So our students have to be prepared in the same way, and that's where Goyal brothers Prakashan score plus actually come in, because I've checked the book and I really liked it. I'm going to refer it to my students as well, that see, if you are confused about the syllabus and you're looking CBSE sites here and there, wait. There is given in the book the bifurcated syllabus exactly in the right manner till what point it is coming, right? Then Most important, your chapter-wise questions and summary. So at the end, what you need to do, you need to revise the topic. So there is chapter-wise summary and important points covered with important question chapter-wise. Each chapter, each type of question, 2 markers, 3 markers, 5 markers, what could be there? Everything is meant because after the release of sample paper, now we have a clear idea what we have to prepare for. There is latest CBSE sample paper with solution, with all the option and with the correction. So I was really disappointed that in the marking scheme there was that little silly mistake, though I can say that, but I do not expect that there. So we need to guide our students right. And the best part, any well prepared soldier is who can practice more. So the more you practice an art, the better you get in it. That is what it is there. Along with the sample paper, there are 5 model test paper on the same grounds, application based questions, how the question can come. Sample paper is just one. We have to go everywhere. Can essay, हर तरीके से पकड़ना सीखना है. That is what the Goyal Brothers Core Plus is going to help. And this is just an example that if in physics for CBSE 12th question is about the combination, they have given a similar, and combination of resistance is definitely going to come with mixed combination, not entirely series, not entirely parallel. Ekdam easy nahi karne wale in life. They are going to make it that student have learned it, whether they can apply it in search circuit, which is not too simple, but which they can use in their day-to-day life as per practical application. Talking about chemistry, periodic table is not to be learned. Their properties has to be like, what is the similarity if I talk about group 4, group 5, the same periodic table which we know, but the properties has to be actually applied again. So that is the type of question in bio. This is the case base. As I told you, it is 1 and 2 marker question, and it is application, that whether we can actually see how these things are working. Can we do the combination here, that how many plants are going to figure out? This is actually bio mein, this is one of the favorite topic, because maths also comes into picture. Generally we think maths and bio are two different journeys, but it's not like that. So this chapter is actually amazing, and that's why it is being coming as the most scored chapter, right? That is where we come to the end. And before ending, obviously before taking the question and answer, this is my personal analysis, totally my personal analysis, but I was convinced, I have spent hours over it, that how things are going to work. So if I talk about conceptual question, numerical question, application based question, and observational question, which all questions are come and in which grade? So conceptual question mostly are going to be in 2 markers, and the total of that will come out to be a 19 marks. Talking about numerical, it is coming from mostly physics, that is going to be of 6 marks, that is 2 questions out there, 3 markers each. Application based is there, which is going to be 2 3 markers and 1 2 marker. So where you'll see that chemistry question is coming in 2 marker, but it is application, that is where it is. And observational, the case based, as we have talked, 4 marker question is one that comes in physics as well, whether they are observing the phenomena correct or not, and a 3 marker question that boils down everything to 40 marks. And yes, it is not going to be too easy, but a war, when we are prepared together, nothing is going to be difficult. And that is what we need to do for our students. That's it. And I'm very sure every like teacher out here, as we motivate our students, they are self into this, that we have to make sure our students are doing best, because when they earn marks, it is us who are winning, right? That is over, people. That's all from my side. Anything that is out there that you want to ask me, please let me. Is CBSE providing more model papers? No, Alpana ma'am, no. CBSE have just always given one sample paper. It's always different publication who make model test paper according to that. Okay. So I guess already shared with term 2 MTPs, and it's amazing. Thank you very much, Jitin sir. Jitin sir, teachers were asking for the YouTube link. So if you can provide them.
Yeah, YouTube link I am sharing, ma'am. Okay. Also, I've shared a link where they can see a sample.
Sure, sir. I've seen it. Every teacher, I hope.
Here is the YouTube link.
Yes.
Also, few teachers are asking us to create a science group on WhatsApp.
So that's your personal call. Please see if you can. Okay. Okay,
Yeah, I
very
think
so Nandana ma'am, as I said, this is actually a kind of a signal that term 1 ka weightage we don't know. It depends on whether term 2 kaise ho raha hai. So that's why term 1 result is not yet announced, though in the notification of CBSE they have announced it very like in the mid of the January that result aa raha hai. So it is still saying that it is going to come very soon, but मेरी पर्सनल ये चीज है कि मोस्ट प्रोबेबली दे विल नॉट रिलीज टर्म 1 रिजल्ट सेपरेटली, बिकॉज it all depends, the weightage will differ as term 2 kaise hoga. It all depends on that, right? Anything else that I can answer? I'm so sorry Mak, I don't know sir, what was the question? Whether we have to conduct practicals? Yes sir, practicals mein there are not many. एक physics में है और एक biology में है, and yes we are supposed to conduct those practicals. Ideally earlier it was said कि term 1 के लिए नहीं but term 2 के लिए externals आएंगे, but अभी तक कोई notification नहीं, so we cannot be sure about that, right? I hope it helped. Best of individual child or best of the class? So PA is best of the individual child, we are not talking about best of class. For each student उसका best of 2 लिया जाएगा out of 3. Okay, anything else that I'm missing on to the important question? Yes, it is definitely electricity, because now the magnetic effect of electric current has no numericals, it has conceptual questions, sir. Sir, as I told you, CBSE, this Score Plus is giving you the sample paper along with its solution. But though if you want to check it, it is available on the website. Along with the sample paper, it is there as a marking scheme. So you can check the solution in the marking scheme. Right. Thank you very much, Nishant sir. It's really, really great to know. It really made my day. Yes, sir. Alpana ma'am, sir ने अभी आपको links भेजे हैं. Those are the links for the model test paper. Thank you. Sir, any more doubts? If I'm missing?
I think ma'am we have covered all the doubts.
Okay.
I'd like to share my screen and show them how they can see the sample paper here.
Yes, sir. आप दिखा दीजिए, मैं stop कर देती हूँ. ठीक है? I'll just stop share and it's all yours.
Yeah. So in the link, when you click on the link, this page will open. You just have to click on preview and the sample paper will come. You can also forward this link to your students, and also the book is available at www.goyal-books.com.
So just make that link in the chat.
Yeah, it will come. It's here. -books.com.
Okay.
Also, we have created a WhatsApp group on request of few participants. So if you want to join, you can join.
Okay. Thank you very much, teachers. Thank you, Jitin sir.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tuesday and avail your courses at affordable prices.